Well, good day, Bakerview kids. Welcome back to another story time. If you remember last week, we talked about Mary and Joseph, and Mary being visited by a shining angel who said she was going to have a baby. And she was almost ready to have a baby. 9 months later, when her and Joseph needed to go to Bethlehem, where they found a stable, an only place that they could stay. And Jesus was born that night, quietly in that stable. Well, the same night, in amongst the stars, suddenly a bright new star appeared. Of all the stars in the dark vaulted skies, this one shone clearer. It blazed in the night and made the other stars look pale beside it. God put it there when his baby son was born, to be like a spotlight, shining on him, lighting up the darkness, showing people the way to him. You see, God was like a new daddy. He couldn't keep the good news to himself. He'd been waiting all these long years for this moment, and now he wanted to tell everyone.
So he pulled out all the stops. He'd sent an angel to tell Mary the good news. He'd put a special star in the sky to show where his boy was. And now he was going to send a big choir of angels to sing his happy song to the world. He's here. He's come. Come and see. My little boy. Now, where would you send your splendid choir? To a big concert hall, maybe? Or a palace, perhaps? Well, God sent his to a little hillside, outside a little town, in the middle of the night. He sent all those angels to sing for a raggedy old bunch of shepherds watching their sheep outside of Bethlehem. In those days, remember, people used to laugh at the shepherds and say they were smelly and call them other rude names which I can't possibly mention here. You see, people thought that shepherds were nobodies, just scruffy old riffraff. But God must have thought that shepherds were very important indeed, because they're the ones he chose to tell the good news to first. That night, some shepherds were out in the open fields, warming themselves by a campfire when suddenly the sheep darted. They were frightened by something. The olive trees rustled. What was that?
They turned around, and standing in front of them was a huge warrior of light, blazing in the darkness. "Don't be afraid of me," the bright shining man said. "I haven't come to hurt you. I've come to bring you happy news for everyone, everywhere. Today in David's town in Bethlehem, God's son has been born. You can go and see him. He is sleeping in a manger." Behind the angel, they saw a strange growing cloud. Except it wasn't a cloud. It was angels, troops and troops of angels, armed with light. And they were singing a beautiful song. Glory to God. Glory to God. To God be fame and honor and all our hoorays. The shepherds quickly stamped out their fire, left their sheep, and raced down the grassy hill, through the gates of Bethlehem, down the narrow cobble streets, through the courtyard, down some steps, more steps, past an inn, round a corner, through a hedge, until at last they reached
A tumble-down stable. They caught their breath. Then quietly they tiptoed inside. They knelt on the dirt floor. They had heard about the promised child, and now he was here. Heaven's son, the maker of stars, a baby sleeping in his mother's arms. This baby would be like that bright star shining in the sky that night, a light to light up the whole world, chasing away the darkness and helping people see. And the darker the night got, the brighter the star would shine.